I use conditioner. I almost never use conditioner. My hair's all soft. And on my face, I used it. My face is all soft too. Which panel is this?
YouTube.
Video content creation.
YouTube. Okay. I can't. They were like all kind of mashed together, and they're all kind of the same thing. So what is it?
I think it's crap from trivia last night.
Dragon's Dead, Spiders Rule.
Oh, it was there was a storytelling thing, and it was D&D style.
Pissy Siren Tavern. Anime. 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 All right. So yeah, this is the YouTube chat panel, I guess, with me and all of you sweethearts. So I'm not even gonna use the microphone because you can hear me, right?
We're gonna move and
What?
sit like right there. So
What?
we're gonna move and sit right there.
Yeah, just
Story time.
Powwow, you know. We'll all sit on the same level. It'll be great. I saw you tweeted at Nightmind
Yeah.
that you
Told you
said
I did. I
sounded
quoted
like
you.
him, or you sounded like him. All right, so I guess whatever things you guys want to know about making YouTube nonsense, you can ask me. I'm not exactly an expert, but I guess I have slightly more experience than most other people do, I guess.
Hey,
Good
Mike.
GoPro. Which one is that? Is that 4?
Yeah.
That's what I got too.
It's like,
But yeah, whatever you dudes want to ask, feel free to. You can raise your hand. I don't care. What you got?
What's your preferred editing software?
My preferred editing software is Adobe Premiere Pro, whatever the latest one is. Marble Hornets was originally made on Sony Vegas, which is the worst. Although I do have kind of a running joke with Vegas being bad, but as far as as baby's first editing software, you can do a whole lot worse. You can use like iMovie or something, or Windows Movie Maker. Which,
Don't shit on Windows Movie Maker.
what?
The 98 Windows Movie Maker was my favorite thing in the world to edit music on.
Wait, music?
Mm-hmm. It had the little audio spikes and everything, so
Ah.
you could like zoom in and cut music. Of course, it was all to like shitty anime pictures. I was 12, but you know,
Be proud of your anime music. It's
my mom
fine.
watched it and everything.
Yeah. I don't think I used anything before that. I've literally never even touched Windows Movie Maker or... No, scratch that. I did use Windows 3D Movie Maker when I was like 13. It was like, it came bundled with our like first computer, and it was like almost like a 3D animating program. It was set up like a movie studio. It was really cool, and you had like these 3D models that you could like move around with like these little canned effects. Like here's this person running, and you can like make movies and everything with it. It was really cool.
I would
That's
totally play with
adorable.
that today.
You should. It's
Yeah.
great. I'm sure. I wonder if you can still find it. I'm gonna check eBay. Like I bet you could. Like there's still surprisingly, there's still like a relatively active community behind it. Like people still make these ridiculous things with it.
Is that how you're gonna do your shitty sci-fi movie?
It's a good idea.
Bad sci-fi movie. I'm sorry.
That's a good idea. Yeah, it won't be shitty. It'll just be bad, but it'll be bad in a good way. Yeah. I'm gonna look that up real quick. There's like a really funny video that someone made in it called "Grandpa Has the Keys Again," and it's just like 30 seconds of just like the like grandpa model, like in the car model, just like wreaking havoc, like with the car like flying upside down and everything, and like going through buildings.
It was the predecessor to the Gary Mod videos.
Yeah,
basically.
probably. Like, it wasn't quite as in depth as that, but let me see. I just looked it up. Wow. Wait a minute. It's like $30. It's like 20. Yeah. That like Nickelodeon had a version too, where you could like do it with like Rocco and stuff like that. I highly recommend it. $25, $20, $30. That must be like a shrink wrap one. But yeah, Check it out. It's funny. I'm gonna see if I can find that video real quick too. YouTube questions. Hit me. I can multitask.
Somebody just starting out. How the hell do you promote that?
Promote?
Mm-hmm.
Man, you
We
figure
got-
that out. You let me know.
Thanks, Troy. Without being super obnoxious.
Grandpa has the keys again. Wait, where is
What are
it?
you gonna do? Walk around with your phone and show it to everyone?
I just want to see if it's still here. Oh my god, it is. Here, I'm gonna show this. This is really funny. Everyone gather around.
Story
This is no
time.
longer a panel about YouTube.
It just
it's
says
watching YouTube
dicks.
videos.
And
Wait, no, that's not the right one. Here we go.
it looks like South Park animation.
Oh my god, terrible.
The other models.
It's really, really nice panel.
It's just
Someone spent time on that.
yeah.
I'd spend
That's
time
all
on
it
that.
is. Like that was made in that was as bad as it looked.
As somebody's magnum opus.
Yeah, no, as bad as it looked, like that making that was probably really hard because they just gave you like basic geometric shapes and stuff, and they made like buildings and stuff with it. It's pretty intense. But anyway, it's hard to say with promoting stuff because when Marble Hornets was made, we kind of had a built-in audience with something awful. We just didn't think more than like 10 people would see it. So
You were wrong.
we were very wrong. The best advertising I would say is getting word of mouth, as cliched as it sounds. Some people like, this is just me, some people may like it, but I don't like making ads for it. Like, check out new spooky thing over here on the right hand side of your Facebook, you know, and those are, I've dabbled in doing those things, like not with videos, but just like, you know, like the store and everything. And for what they cost, this is just my experience, it's not worth it.
I
Like-
did that. It was bad. No.
Yeah, it's like, okay, I spent $20 for what?
Like 300 people saw this.
Yeah, it's like, it feels like you're paying to win, you know? Like, if you pay a lot of money, all these people you're friends with might see it. It's just messed up, man. I haven't dabbled in Google ad stuff before, or once. I did it once, and it's really confusing. Like, 'cause you can, like, make all these groups of, like, demographics and everything, and it's like, here's all the people we own. You know, like, here, you can shove your ads in their faces. Not to say ads are bad. Don't use ad block, please. At least on YouTube videos that I make, because unfortunately, that is how you make
Any money?
that, and well, I would say half, maybe less of the money that YouTube stuff I make generates is from that. So I'm not a millionaire. So like, don't use ad block, please. Disable it on YouTube, please, or just online. I wish there's a better way to do it. They're like, I get reports every month that say like, here's what you like made. It's like an itemized list. Like, here's what you made from these channels and these, like, and they've added YouTube Red to it now. So like, here's what you made, and that's just like apparently a big impenetrable thing of where that money comes from, which is kind of a sore spot for a lot of people. Yeah, and it's always like a fairly small amount from YouTube Red. I think it's like, they said YouTube gets half of the money they pay for it, and then they just like split it up between however many people that person watched. So like, I guess in theory, if they watched literally one video for that entire month, that person would get the other half. I think. I don't know. I've seen people try to figure it out, and it's confusing. Probably by design, so people don't ask too many questions. But yeah, I keep thinking that's a dog right there, and I wish
No.
it was.
You
I
can,
would-
it's
Actually,
soft.
it's probably best that it's not a dog, because I would be down there like the whole time. I'd be talking from.
The pity over at the big fluffy dog thing. She thinks they're the best thing in the world. So every time I go over there, she just shoves her face. I'm like, alright.
Those is good dogs over there. You should go pet those dogs. They had a little one over there earlier. So cute. Sorry.
You're, special effects. How do you go about making special effects?
I think I'm kind of a weird one, because I barely know how to use After Effects. I mean, I get the gist of it. I just don't like messing with it very much because it's weird. Its layout isn't the same as Premiere, so I would say 99% of the effects I use are within Premiere. There's a few third-party effects that I use from two companies. One is a company called Robyte, RWBYTE, and the other one is from a company called Red Giant. They have these neat like VHS effect things you can use. They was used way more in Clear Lakes than the new series because the fun thing about third-party effects is that when you get them, there's a chance that they may not work well with Premiere and they may just crash it a lot. Or after you put it all together and you're trying to render it, it won't render because those third-party effects are screwing everything up and it'll say unknown error and you'll be like, wow, thanks. So I've had several long nights of trying to figure out what the unknown error is, and it's almost always that. So most of the effects that you can like buy, you can make in Premiere with varying degrees of effort. Some you can make really, like some I've seen that are like, I can make that for free in like 5 minutes. And other ones it's like, okay, that would actually take like a day to do. So it's really a case of time saving, I guess. But like 99, probably more % of the effects I make are made entirely in Premiere. So yeah, I've never really enjoyed After Effects that much. But it comes with Premiere now, so I'm like, okay.
It's there, why not?
Yeah. What else? You can ask me anything, I don't care. This is an AMA.
What'd you have for breakfast?
I haven't eaten breakfast.
I'm so sorry.
Bless your heart.
I'm hungry. I'm really hungry.
Do you still have those books?
What did y'all use to make blood in Marble Hornets and the Torch Edge's face?
Two separate things, actually. There's actually two answers for the Marble Hornets one. One, we tried to make fake blood out of super concentrated drink powder. It was a dumb idea. It was like the Crystal Light things. We found that if you mixed it really highly concentrated, it would turn like blood red, but it would be like kind of runny. So we used that
probably
maybe.
stain.
Yeah, that too. We used it maybe once or twice. That was just in season 1. After that, actually, in 2 days, if you want to get some blood, go to like Spirit on November 1st, because all of their stuff will be like cheap, like really super cheap, because they're like, we don't want this anymore, take it, it's not Halloween. So after that, we used we used real fake blood for Marble Hornets, and that was just like these jugs you can get at Spirit. I found them on like November 2nd, and I think they were like $1 each.
Nice.
So I got like 6 of them, and we used all of it in Marble Hornets, surprisingly, which is weird because there's not a whole lot of blood in it.
So the one scene, there's just blood everywhere. So.
And yeah, the next to the last entry, we had 1 jug left that was about 3/4 full, and
Just dump that shit everywhere.
at first we were like, all right, so this is kind of an important thing. We don't want to go over the top with it. So we just we did like 4 or 5 takes, I think, where we just added more and more blood each time. And we watched it afterwards. We'd be like, okay, we did this take, pour a little bit more blood on Joseph, don't move. It's cold, I'm sorry. and like, okay, then we'd shoot it and we'd pour a little bit more blood on it and shoot it, pour a little more blood on it. And then we would have like, after like 4 takes, we had like half of it left. So like we weren't using very much, and Joseph was like, just dump that shit on my face for the last one, like, let's go crazy with it. So because we were like, this is the next to last entry, we're not gonna need blood anymore, so like have this taking space. So we just dumped the whole thing on him, all over the floor and everything, and that's the take we used. Like that was the one that ended up looking the best. Like that was 3/4 of a jug of blood on him, and I think, who here is well versed in the Blu-ray, who watches it a lot? I feel like you are.
Maybe.
Does it have the picture on it of Joseph like post blood scene,
I think so.
where he's just like wearing that brown shirt still? And
Yeah.
he's like coated.
I think that might actually be on the DVD even. I'm
Really?
not sure.
Let me check that out.
Would you like a chocolate butt?
What?
They're chocolate butts. They're not very butt-shaped anymore, but they're chocolate.
Did you make them?
Steph made them. She couldn't come, but
I want a chocolate butt. Are they just like straight up chocolate?
yeah, they're like chocolate chips.
Giant chocolate chip.
You can have more than one if you
That
want,
is a
but
butt. I'm gonna have a.
they didn't survive the trip very well.
I'm gonna have a
But
smaller one. That's a butt. That is a butt. I've eaten a butt.
that's what GMX is for.
Ooh, good.
Troy, do you eat ass?
I'm literally eating ash now. That's good. That's good. I kind of want another one, but I haven't eaten anything yet, so I have a sensitive tummy.
It's a tum-tum. I like that
Nice
shirt.
job on the butts. That's what I'm saying. What was I talking about?
I don't even blood.
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 I was gonna try and find that picture, but I think it is on the
Blu-ray.
on the Blu-ray and maybe even the DVD. So you can find like. Oh wait, I think actually. No, I didn't. Never mind. Sorry.
It's all excited.
Wait, hold on. Wait. No, that's something else. Dang, I thought I still had it on like my backup thing. And I don't think I do. Oh wait, oh no, I'm in the right area. Hold on, this is intense.
This could be the rest of the panel as I'm sitting here trying to find the frame.
We need really intense music.
Oh, I called your wife to ask why you were late, and she said you suck.
I also got stuck in an elevator.
Yeah,
So there's that too.
I just figured you were petting dogs.
that's, yeah.
I was tempted to. I walked by them and was like, I could just stop and pet these dogs. Oh, here we go. I found it. Is this one on it?
Yes.
That-
Oh, yeah.
That's like all the blood on him. Fun. Yeah. It's like, it looks like I just ate a deer. There you go. Yeah, that's a whole, that's almost a full jug on him.
God bless.
We had to clean up that mess for like 30 minutes afterwards at one spot. And we went back there, when we did the Kickstarter, we did like a tour thing of it for people, and when we went back there, it was still like vaguely pink on the floor. Oops. But they ended up renovating the building anyway, so it's gone now. But
Did Joseph drive home like that?
no, he brought it. We knew he was gonna have to do it, so he like, those were like his movie clothes.
Or like his arms and his face?
No, there was a bathroom, like, if you watch it in that entry when like Tim falls against the wall with the knife and everything afterwards, there's like a door slightly to his right, I think, and that's like a bathroom and it has a sink in it. And so Joseph just like shoved his hands in it, like, tried to get it all off. He actually didn't, he forgot to bring his clothes in from there, like from the car, so he just like took his shirt off and was just like walking around like kind of covered in blood. So we were
There
like,
aren't security cameras
they
anywhere.
knew we were up there, so whatever.
I like to think there was a guy like in a room watching cameras, just watching y'all do this shit.
It's like, what are they? Whatever. It's fine.
That's a lot of blood. Is that a knife? No.
Yeah. So yeah, blood is easy to come by 2 days from now. So
Cool.
if you need
Duly
any,
noted.
stock up.
I'm gonna go load up.
You can actually dilute it pretty easily too, because it's kind of goopy. It has the kind of consistency of like chocolate syrup,
We
and it tastes really bad.
for a show we bought like some kind of super hyper realistic crap that like dried realistically, and it's gross.
Yeah.
It was real good, but it was really gross.
It tasted like bad toothpaste. It tasted like tea, but not in a good way. It was gross. Tim would always have, when you have to like cough up blood or something, he would like hold it in his mouth and be like, go to camera like right now. It's really bad. And so he was always more than happy to spit it out realistically. So yeah.
Just vomit blood.
What?
Just vomit blood.
Pretty much. It was like the amount of times that he has said that he has almost vomited in that from like coughing and stuff. I'm surprised he never actually did. Yeah. What else you bros got?
Oh,
You haven't
go
asked one yet.
Have you ever watched another one of like the Slenderverses?
The other ones,
Yeah.
like Tribe 12 and stuff.
Yeah.
Briefly, anytime someone I see on like Tumblr or something, someone will be like, oh man, the new this is really cool, I'll look at it. But I don't seek it out, just because the Applebee's principle of this is what I do too, so I don't really seek it out that much. Not because it's bad or anything, but just because, you know, it's something that I do a lot of already. I heard that Everyman Hybrid is still going.
Yep.
They're doing things.
Because I think they've crossed over with everybody, so everybody who's still running is hooked up into that somehow.
Yeah, they asked us if we
Yeah.
wanted to before, and we politely declined, just because we were like, that would mess up everything we've written. But yeah, there was one that was like really crazy. I think it was called like Caught Not Sleeping or something.
Mm.
It was really cool. I really like that one. But as a whole, not really. And not because I'm uppity or something, but just because I do it a lot already.
Yeah. Were you interested in codes and cryptography before starting the series?
Nope.
Was it something you just kind of fell in
No.
love with during?
I wouldn't say I'm in love with it, but I like
That's a lie.
doing it. I'm in like with it.
Okay. You're not afraid to make that commitment.
Yeah, like I've never, when I made To the Ark and Marble Hornets, people were just like frothing at the mouth for like a puzzle somewhere, and I was like, fine, I'll do it. I'll make one. And I just like made the first one, just like a crappy, little puzzle that people solved in like 5 seconds. And I made lots of those that people solved in 5 seconds, and some that people never did.
Yeah, I think there's one that still hasn't been solved.
Yeah, we
Yeah.
talked about it in the
Yeah.
other panel.
There is.
And Lee like reported it back in the Discord channel, like, guys, don't worry about it. I'll find that code someday, maybe.
Believe you.
I'll either find it or I'll figure out what I was trying to say on my notes for it.
Just make up something new. Yeah, that's what it is.
Maybe that actually happens a few times where people will go back and find a new meaning for a thing that I didn't intend, and I'll be like, yeah, that's totally it. Yeah. In fact, it happened fairly recently. So,
Nice.
the new series I'm trying to not be like fan run per se, but anytime people start going in a direction that I didn't think they would, I might like go with it too.
React
Even if it
to
was
it.
not the correct way to do it, if it's still kind of going to the same place, I'll be like, yeah, we'll do that. I can't say specifically, obviously, but
Yeah.
it's
Make a detour.
what?
Make a detour.
Yeah, detour to go to the same place, basically. It's all like mostly written out now anyway, so I can kind of figure out where we're going and everything. But yeah, I've never opened up like a cryptography book or anything, or I don't really understand what ciphers are exactly, but which people are going to be like, oh, he doesn't know what ciphers are, so we better not ever try that. Maybe you should. I don't know. Except for like simple ciphers like 1 equals A, 2 equals B, blah, 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 which has like an actual name, but I don't know what it's called. It's called a substitution cipher. Okay, yeah. So yeah, I know that one. I know that one really well. And like binary stuff like that. People always like know when they see zeros and ones. They're like, okay, we gotta do the binary thing now, which I may have played with recently. Those expectations. So yeah, I like doing it. I try to make it. There's one that I'm really proud of. I can't remember which 2D arc it was in, but the solution ended up being looking at a keyboard and skipping keys.
Yeah.
Quadrant.
Yeah, maybe. And I didn't think people would ever figure it out. I was like, man, I made way too hard of a thing. So I like gave a hint on the Twitter.
Yeah.
And I said, how do hands talk? And people figured it out almost immediately after that. So I was like, maybe I should.
I remember getting that and being like,
Yeah. I worked for like an entire night on that one, like making sure it was right. Because you don't want to have a mistake in your puzzle and people be like, it's just letters. What is this? So yeah, that's always a bit of a stressful thing, is to go over it multiple times to make sure it's right.
So you were learning these as you're making them, basically.
I have a few that I've written down, like, hey, you know what would be cool is if I did this, but I don't know where to put it. I have one right now that I'm obviously can't go into detail about, but I have one right now that I really want to do, but it's more in-depth figuring out. There's lots of weird ways to do it, I guess, but, you know, it's I'm trying to figure out new ways to surprise people, I guess, with puzzles.
To
What
make
do we call
people
them now?
angry.
Puzzles. Here's my puzz. But yeah, it's weird. It's kind of hypocritical of me to say, but I like making puzzles. I'm terrible at solving them. Like, if someone showed me one that I made, I'd be like, can someone do this for me? Like, I'm good at crossword puzzles, and that's pretty much it. I used to like eat, sleep, and breathe Sudokus, but you know, I had a friend in high school once that did so many of those that she had like, you know, the books. She had like a pile this big, and she ended up taking out each one of the pages and coding her wall in it, like the ones that she had done, like completed ones. Well, it wasn't her whole room. It was like one wall.
Oh, okay.
As far as I know.
You see her in
Actually,
10 years and the entire house is done.
Funny enough, oh wait, no, it wasn't her. I was gonna say it was the person who actually made part of the operator for us, but that wasn't her. That was someone else. But she also did really like Sudoku. Hey,
Hey,
were you stuck in the elevator with me, or was that someone else?
it was not me this time.
Okay.
he was late because he was stuck in the elevator.
Yeah.
That happens.
Don't use the right-hand elevator.
Don't use any of them at this point.
It like
Just use the stairs.
we were in it before, and it like, is that a Vapichu?
It's a
that you have?
Vapichu.
What?
It's a Vapichu.
All right. Is that actually what you're calling it?
No, it just happened.
Okay. Can I take a picture of your Vapichu?
You just take a picture of my Vapichu.
Hey, Vapichu. Okay. Thanks. Oh, look at this one. I really hope this isn't like your car, but or I'll just tell you about it. There's like a car that's parked next to mine. It just has a bumper sticker on it. It says, I vape and I vote.
Not mine.
It's like, oh, okay. Like, those don't really go together, but all right, whatever. It's like if we have a vote on vaping, I guess we'll know how you're leaning. All right.
It's a very important demographic.
Apparently, yeah. Like people are gonna. There's gonna be like an economic downturn if we ever make it like illegal or something, or like make it harder to do. Not that I vape anyway, so it doesn't have any issues with me. Blow a dank vape cloud just out of nowhere. Don't blow any dank clouds in here, please.
No.
Okay, good. You're not one of those people.
No.
But anyway,
I smack him when he tries it.
what was I talking about?
I don't know, but I have no question.
Creepy elevators, apparently.
Oh no, like I was in the elevator and we were in it once before and the door like didn't close all the way. And we were like, what do we do? We like pulled it back open, then it closed and it was fine. But this time I got it, it didn't close all the way and I hit the open and it like went like that. And I was just like, I can't get out of here. And like someone should fix this. But anyway, yeah.
I love the concern.
As far as puzzles go, I just kind of wing it most of the time, but I do make sure they're solvable in some way, or you know, as obscure as the way is, that they're solvable. Because there's nothing that frustrates me more than working all night on a puzzle and someone figures it out in like 5 seconds. But yeah, which is not to say that's don't do that, but you know, I like to think it'll take them at least an hour, hopefully, or like a week. Yeah.
What's the hardest part about doing anything involving YouTube content creation, and what are your tips to help with that?
The hardest part?
Yeah.
Like freaking all of it, man. Managing expectations is a really important part because you're not gonna like make $1 trillion off of it. You're probably not gonna be able to quit your day job. We got lucky with ours and that we were able to do it as like the full-time job for however many years. But even then, it was like you made enough money to do it. We weren't like paying off for cars or anything with it. We were just making enough for rent, basically. So I think Joseph said, you made enough to live, but not enough to save, which is pretty accurate, actually.
So, typical millennialing.
Yeah. Yeah, managing that is really important. Like figuring out what you think is going to be considered success for you is a really important part, because if you're like, hey, I'm going to set out, I'm going to be PewDiePie, I'm going to be a literal millionaire, you know, it's going to be really hard to do that. And you just need to set like little goals for it. You know, like if I can get, 500 views on this, that's respectable. That's great. You know, like most, statistically speaking, that's more than most videos have.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, don't be too married to the view count. That's, don't think you're a failure because you have a couple dozen views. You're not. Like a couple dozen people watched it. Like that's more than the number of people in this room right now. So yeah, like if you're okay with that and you don't feel like you're gonna think you're the worst person in the world because you don't have a whole lot of views, that's an important thing to know. And it's important to know that that's totally normal for YouTube stuff. Like there's not gonna be a group of people that are secretly waiting for you to put out something if you haven't put out something before. So, that's a really important part. I think a lot of people get into it and they're like, oh man, I got, because what happens, I think, after a certain number of total views you have, YouTube will send you a thing and be like, hey, you can enable ads on your video now, cool. And people get that and they're like, oh my god, I've made it, like I'm gonna make so much money off this. And it takes you 6 or 7 months to get the $100 payout limit, which they have. Like they won't pay you unless you make $100 total in a certain amount of time.
That's how my freelance website does. I'm like,
Yeah.
I had $96 in there the other day, and payday was the next day, and they were like, no, you need $4 more. And it's like,
You're like, I will give you $4, just give it back. But yeah, like that's a really important thing to know, is that it's not, for very, very few people is it a giant moneymaker. And those people, with the exception of like certain Let's Players like Mark Wagner and those kinds of people, they have like studio backing and stuff.
like Rooster Teeth is just...
Yeah, Rooster Teeth, who has their own big con that we went to, that we drove to. Yeah, they're just like huge. They're crazy, but they're like a straight up studio.
Mm-hmm.
Like they have multiple people like dozens of people working with them and
They have
everything.
offices, cubicles, and all kinds of junk.
Yeah, exactly. So they may. I don't watch a lot of Rooster Teeth, so I don't know. They're the ones that made Red vs. Blue, right?
Yeah.
Okay, that's what I thought. Like they just started off doing that, right? Like
Yeah,
that was the original
that
thing
was
they
the
did,
original
and
thing.
now, I think they like to present like they're just a few people, but they're like a lot.
We watch them play Minecraft all the time, and periodically they will go to their actual desk and like show things. And they
Yeah.
did one recently where they like had to walk through the entire building to go get something, and it was like there were all these people that weren't even involved in what they were doing. They were just at their desk
Yeah.
doing whatever, and I was like,
This is not what I was expecting. Yeah. Marble Hornets was 4 guys, in case you're wondering. It was us the whole time. Oh wait, 3 guys. No? Well, if you count Brian. It's 4 guys. If you count Brian, it's like 6 guys.
Always have to count Brian.
What?
Always have to count Brian.
Yeah. Yeah, very, very rarely do we have outside help with things. But yeah, does that answer the question?
yes.
Okay. Yeah, I think people have this weird misguided mindset that YouTube is just easy money, but it ain't. It is very far from that. In fact, I think I read a thing that like PewDiePie like made a game of it's like a YouTube clicker
YouTube
game
simulator.
or something. Yeah, YouTube simulator, and it's like actually really depressing.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like if you make the things you want to make, it makes no money, but if you make popular things, it makes a ton of money. So yeah, that's something that I think is cool of him that he did, that showing people that it's like you can make what you want to make, just don't expect it to be if it's not a top 10 list of YouTube fails or something. If that's for some reason what you really want to make, it's going to be an uphill battle. Yeah.
Alright.
Yeah.
Did you ever upload anything to YouTube before Marble Hornets?
Before Marble Hornets? Oh yeah. I had the original, I had 2 YouTube channels before Marble Hornets started. What became THAC was like my second one. And then before that I had a one that I've since privated most of the videos on because they're embarrassing. I tried to be a vlogger for a certain amount of time, back when that was a really big thing. I really liked, they're called the Vlog Brothers now, Hank and John Green. I really like them. So I tried to do that, and it was questionable. I really like Say Frank too. He's since come back, he's really neat. But yeah, I tried to do that on my other one, and then I made the Troy Has a Camera channel. Hey, come in. It's okay.
on this party?
Yes.
Yeah. What's in here after this? I don't know.
There's more people here than I thought there'd be, because I thought everyone would be trying to check out.
That's
It's like, I'm
why
going to
we
come in
were-
here, there's going to be like 3 people, but it's going to be great.
That's why we were 12 kinds of late. We were wrestling with hotel carts
Yeah.
and
Where do you get those?
We stole ours.
bribery.
Okay. Because I have like all the merchandise stuff behind my booth, and like I had to carry it like one by one from my car.
Oh.
It sucked. So I don't really have to do that again. So if someone could find me a cart, that'd be great.
Bribery's pretty magical.
The first person to find me a cart gets
A thing.
Sticker.
$10. Yeah. Actually, no. I don't have $10 to give you. I'm sorry. Like
Do you actually have 10? Come on.
I don't have any cash on me. I have a bunch of coupons.
Your
If
money
you want
box
some, if
is
you want
right
some
there.
expired coupons
Oh, your money box is right there, man.
for yeah, that doesn't count. Want some expired coupons for baby food? You know, have at it.
It's a good time.
The dad is strong in you.
Yeah, it's just like, oh man, coupons, this is great. All right, so we got about 10 minutes. You can ask me. At this point, there's no thing. You can ask me literally anything. Like why is your fly open right now? It's like a constant fear for me for that. So anything you guys want to know, I don't care.
Where'd you get your shirt?
Well, this shirt is made by a forum user whose name I can't remember. He made this shirt and put it. He was like, "Hey, bros, I made this shirt, and I saw it, and I was like, that's a melty ghost, and I really, really
So,
like it.
I really like that shirt.
He's like I think he's like a graphic designer, and he makes music that's really good too. And I'm sorry that I can't remember his name, but he is on the forums.
If he makes music, is it Circle Letter, maybe? Because I think he does graphic design too, but that's just,
Possibly.
I'm thinking.
He's somewhere screaming at the video.
Say my name! It's Heisenberg. Yeah, he made it, and he makes really good music, and you should find it.
That shirt. So
It's a good shirt, I'm pretty sure he still sells them.
How long have you been waiting for somebody to bring it up?
It's good, it's a good shirt, it's a good shirt. You should all get some. I think he made it on like a Teespring or something. The print quality is kinda, it's alright, but that's not his fault. Making t-shirts, I found out, is harder than you think it is. Because printers of t-shirts are weird. If you wanna know about printing t-shirts, ask me.
Sure. How do you print t-shirts?
Well, first you have a lot of money that you can blow on that, like say from the Kickstarter. And then you go to various t-shirt printing companies and you're like, hey, is your shirt is your shirts good? And how much do they cost? And then you find a good balance of quality and cost. And ours were printed from this company called Ultimate Shirt Company in LA, which the guy that we knew in LA who screwed up the first version of DVDs, he actually found those people for us, so he did a good thing with that.
he made up for it.
He tried.
Collector's items because they're screwed up. So
Yeah, but yeah, like that's a fun thing to do, and there's actually companies now that will do on-demand printing, which is pretty cool, and you just basically pay them for the shirt and some extra, and then you'll make the margin between what you sell and everything. They've been doing that for a long time, but you know that's what most companies do now. That you don't buy bulk amount from. They'll say, hey, this shirt costs $13. You want to charge $24, you'll make the difference. You know, like a lot of companies do that. But if you have the money for it, print them all at once, because you'll make more money that way. Because it'll cost like $3 each then, which is pretty cool. So now we all know how to print shirts.
Yay. Did you make the designs yourself, or did
Yep.
you get somebody?
All of the designs. Yeah, all the shirts I made myself. The one I'm most proud of is the Crabsabsolutely shirt. That's on.
I might be modeling that right now.
You're wearing it? Can I see it?
Crabsabsolutely.
I haven't seen it in IRL before. That's pretty good.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
It's great.
Yeah.
It's pretty much my favorite thing.
Can I see?
Crabsabsolutely.
I made that shirt. It's a good shirt. I'm proud of it.
Proud of you, Troy.
Good pun.
I do want to get a picture of that, so don't forget.
Okay.
Yeah, the only things that I didn't design myself were the DVD covers. We actually did get a for real graphic designer to do that. This guy named Keith. He made season 2 and 3, and then a friend of ours named Terry, who lives in Canada, made the season 1 DVD cover. And strangely enough, the Marble Hornets like logo that's on the season 1 cover and the logo shirts that are for sale over there were just a quick scribble. Like I did a mock-up of what I wanted the DVD to look like before I sent it to her, and that quick scribble of the logo is like, yeah, it goes here, whatever. That's the one that is used. So that logo on the season 1 DVD and on the shirts took maybe 5 seconds to make, which I think that's kind of cool. You know?
nice.
Other than those people and the one actress you guys hired, did you ever pay anyone else before?
We paid Brian anytime he was in it.
Okay.
Yeah, we paid Jessica, obviously. We don't like asking people to work for free ever. In fact, that has like never really happened, which is good. That's good. You always want to. One of my biggest pet peeves is working for experience, and it's like, don't do that. Do not do that. So yeah, so you have if you say do not do that, you kind of gotta stick by it. So just make sure as far as payment goes for people, if you're like, hey, give me this thing, you know, let them know beforehand, like what they're gonna get, because you don't want to have that question be lingering in the air, making it really awkward.
Yeah.
Now, it's like, as far as working for experience goes, that's okay as long as like you're not making any money either. Like if you're asking someone, hey, do this thing for free so I can make money off of it, you're an asshole. But yeah, like as long as like it's, you know, small thing, you know, that you and your friends want to make, like say the beginning of Marble Hornets, you know you're not gonna make any money off of it. So as long as you're both on the same page on that, that's good. But yeah, paying people is very important.
In the new series, can we expect new faces or non-faces at all?
Did you say non-faces?
Yes.
Or any
Spook
faces?
Man.
There will be faces, yes.
Okay.
There
I
will
know
be
in other
faces.
series there have been both that
Yeah.
do no faces, so I'm curious. New actors, I guess.
You'll see. I'm actually working on trying to find a narrator for the next Earth and You. I'm trying to get in contact with the Rice Pirate, if anyone knows who that is. He's a voice actor guy.
Nice.
There's like one other person I want to try and get in contact with, and if that falls through, I'm okay with narrating it, I guess. I narrated the original one that was on Newgrounds like 10 years ago. But yeah, that is something else I want to get back into. Since someone asked, I meant to have something made on the Fish with a Nose channel before GMX, but I got really wrapped up in making the new series, and so
How dare you?
what?
How dare you?
I know, right?
How dare you make spooky?
There will be things
How dare
coming.
you make YouTube content?
How dare you make these things for free for us? But yeah, any other quick questions? We got like 2 minutes. Where will I be? I will be over in my usual spot in the theater room, hanging out probably until about 4 o'clock at the latest. We got to get home, so I'm not going to be at closing ceremonies this year. Sorry.
How much are shirts?
Shirts are 20. And
I need a new one.
a new one. What happened to your old one?
I wore it to work thinking I'll be really careful, and then got bleach on it.
Oh, okay. So it didn't like fall apart or
No.
anything.
It did.
No.
It totally did.
Yeah, it
So you should give me one for free. You know?
Should have
peeled
gotten
right
an
off.
extended warranty.
Yeah.
No.
You got the extended warranty.
I made a grave mistake. I thought there aren't wild animals running all over this facility, and they're definitely not going to knock over a bleach bucket. This will be fine.
Where do you work?
An animal shelter.
Oh, okay. It's like what are you doing when wild animals are running around?
Daycare.
But that is that's probably the one good answer for that. And it's like, well, where do you work? I work at a school for wolves.
Sometimes.
Bear school. All right, that should about do it. This is my last panel. You guys have been good. Group hug. All of you long distance. I will be at. Oh yeah, that's the anime. I will be at the booth for the rest of the day.
You should keep the anime.
For the next. Stop minding.
It's your anime now.
They
Who
loved
wants-
it.
Who wants some anime?